Starfire and Steel. Chapter 1. The First Shot. The sky burned red. Sergeant Caleb Cross sprinted across the shattered plaza, dodging laser fire as black smoke choked the air. The Earth Defense Forces were losing ground. Again. It wasn't just the rival in Empire's superior tech, it was her. Caleb skidded behind a crumbling pillar, his heart hammering against his ribs. Across the battlefield, framed by the dying light, stood General Cerexa Vaughn, the warlord princess, tall, fierce, terrifyingly beautiful. Her black and gold battle armor gleamed even through the dust storm swirling between them. Her silver hair whipped around her sharp, angular face, her glowing violet eyes locked onto him like twin blades. Caleb had heard stories, how she'd conquered 3 continents without mercy, how no human soldier had ever survived a direct fight with her. And now she was here, hunting him. Perfect, Caleb muttered under his breath, checking the clip on his plasma rifle. Outgunned, outmatched, and facing the devil's own daughter. A roar of engines overhead. Dropships screamed across the sky, peppering the ruins with cannon fire. Caleb rolled, narrowly avoiding a blast that turned his cover into rubble. When he came up again, Cerexa was moving. Fast, too fast. She closed the distance between them in a blur of motion, her energy spear humming with lethal power. Caleb barely had time to react. He threw himself sideways, her spear carving a line through the concrete where he'd stood a second ago. He fired. She deflected the shot with a flick of her wrist, the plasma bolt ricocheting into the sky. "You're quicker than the others," she said, in perfect English, her voice low and rich with contempt. Her accent was strange, sharp, musical. Caleb smirked, despite the blood pounding in his ears. "Guess you haven't met enough stubborn bastards yet." Her eyes narrowed.
They circled each other, weapons ready, bodies tense. Caleb could see now that the armor she wore wasn't just for protection, it moved with her like a second skin. Every line of her was built for battle, lithe, muscular, deadly. And somehow, despite the chaos around them, a part of him, the reckless, stupid part, admired it. "Focus, Cross," he told himself. "She's the enemy, remember that." Cerexa struck first, a brutal lunge that forced Caleb to parry with the butt of his rifle. The impact jarred through his arms. She was stronger than any human he'd ever fought, but he was stubborn and desperate.
They traded blows, plasma bursts, and energy strikes flashing between them, neither landing a killing shot. Around them, the battle raged on, but it faded into background noise. In that moment, there was only her and him. At one point, Cerexa caught his arm and wrenched his rifle away, sending it skittering across the ground. Caleb grunted, pivoted, and slammed his shoulder into her. She stumbled back a step, only a step, but it was enough. "You fight well," she said, breathing hard, a gleam of something that might have been respect or amusement in her eyes. "You haven't seen anything yet," Caleb shot back, grabbing a shard of broken pipe to wield as an improvised weapon. Cerexa smiled then. It was not a kind smile. It was the smile of a predator who had found worthy prey. Without warning, she feinted left and swept his legs from under him. Caleb crashed onto his back, the wind knocked from his lungs. Cerexa straddled him, pinning him easily, the tip of her crackling spear hovering an inch above his throat. "Yield," she said, her voice low, almost a purr. Caleb bared his teeth in a grin. "Go to hell!" For a second, just a second, something flickered across her face. Surprise? Admiration? Something else. Something almost human. A new explosion rocked the plaza. Both of them instinctively turned their heads. In that instant, Caleb drove the pipe up, striking the side of her armor with enough force to throw her off balance. He scrambled to his feet, grabbed his fallen rifle, and backed away. Cerexa stood slowly, brushing dust from her armor. She watched him with a strange expression, the glow in her eyes softer now, curious. "This is not finished, human," she said, her voice almost gentle. Caleb gave a rough laugh, blood trickling down the side of his face. I wouldn't dream of it. Then with a flash of movement, she was gone, vanished into the smoke and fire. Caleb stood alone in the ruins, his heart still racing. He should have felt victory, relief. Instead, he felt something dangerous stirring inside him, a question he dared not voice. What happens when the enemy is the only one who understands you? Would you like me to go straight into Chapter 2 next, where their paths cross again and the tension gets even sharper? Chapter 2 could show them forced into a situation where they have to cooperate, maybe both trapped by a common enemy. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to find out what happens next in Starfire and Steel. Enemies to lovers.